Hi, welcome to the What If podcast. Your hosts tonight are gonna be, God damn it, Spencer, Bert Davis, and Ryan
I was trying to get the goddamn it to land right on the beat drop.
God damn it.
I was pretty close that time.
That should be your new drop.
Didn't Swizz Beats do that?
Yeah, but let's have a Lydia drop in a new song where she just says, God damn it. But hers is, God damn it. I like it. I think we're on to something here.
We might be. Welcome. It's the What If podcast. I'm Spencer. That's Ryan.
Hi.
We're going to talk about creepy pants today.
What's up, man? How you been?
I've been good.
Yeah?
I'm back at my home. My home is lovely. It's a nice place to be.
It's warmer than it is outside.
Yeah. Well, that was the one nice thing about not being at my home for a few days, that literally everywhere in the country is warmer than where we live.
Anywhere is better than this.
Yep, 40 and 50 degrees out east felt fantastic for a few days.
That's ding dang balmy, bud.
Dude, I was walking around without a coat on in New York, and it was lovely.
I would have been a hoodie and a hat, and I would have been straight.
I saw one of our favorite rappers get kicked out of a bar for trying to fight a Christmas tree.
Oh. Yes. For those that know, it was not any of the people that were on tour.
No.
It was someone tour adjacent.
Yes.
Just so
no one who's
thinks
appeared on this podcast before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey,
I had a good time.
Now I'm
home.
That sounds like a party.
I bought some weed in Salem, Massachusetts.
You can do that?
Yes, you can.
I guess you can get it anywhere.
Not legally.
How you get it.
You can do it legally in Massachusetts these days.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I just wanted to buy some witch weed to see if it was
witch
weed. It was bewitched.
And what's the verdict?
I ended up giving it away. I didn't actually end up smoking it even, so I don't know.
I feel like that's what happens when people go on destination things where their destination is not like purely to smoke weed. It's like, oh, this is a novel thing that's here, but then you never really have the occasion to ingest.
Well, yeah. I was like, I might need this later, not thinking like I'm getting on an airplane to go to a place where that's not legal in about 12 hours, and then it just didn't happen.
Probably not going to fly.
Speaking of Bewitched.
Yes.
I finished Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets audiobook today. I don't know if I've brought this up on the show yet. I started the audiobooks.
I think we might have talked about it on the paid show.
Okay. So I watched, maybe all of that was on the paid show.
I think it all was on the paid show.
Around Thanksgiving, I watched all the Harry Potter movies in succession.
Yes.
And then a friend of ours put me on to how outstanding the audiobooks are. And I've been working my way through the audiobooks as I was traveling and stuff last week. And now just, like 4 hours a day while I'm working.
Oh, yeah.
But I finished the second book today. And man, I tell you what, Jim Dale, who reads all of them and does sometimes 100+ voices throughout the course of a book, is a goddamn treasure.
There's got to be that many in a ding dang Harry Potter book.
I was doing some reading on Jim Dale last night.
And what have we learned? What have we learned? It sounds like some dad shit.
He held the record for most voices in an audiobook at 134 for one of the later books. I don't remember which one.
I was going to say, was it for a Harry Potter book?
Yeah.
Got it.
And then that stood until one of the Game of Thrones books had like 150 or something.
The Game of Thrones dethroned him, if you will.
Correct. He's also, Jim Dale has won 2 Grammy Awards for Best Audiobook for Harry Potter. I don't know which ones, but
look at this fucking literate superstar.
Jim Dale?
He's a literate superstar.
Yeah, he's dang good.
He's turned his ability to read words into a very fucking lucrative business for himself, I'm sure.
Well, he was doing fine before that. He's like 90 years old, but
yeah, wasn't he like an actor for? He's not 90, right?
Something close. He's 80 something.
Damn.
Yeah,
that's a bold move to give the Harry Potter reads to a 90-year-old dude, man.
Well, it's not like they recorded them recently.
I'm just saying
those audiobooks are at least 10 years old now.
I'm just saying
he was 70 something.
Yeah, but you got a bunch of books to go.
Oh, you're saying he might not make it?
Well,
he made it.
I'm not trying to,
He made it and he's still kicking.
Sure.
Although, so I was wondering, having produced a few audiobooks myself, you okay there, bud?
Yep.
Okay.
Carry on. There's a buzz, but it's fine.
Whatever.
We're good.
I was wondering, because they did like 7 books. They did exactly 7 books. And some of the longer ones are 20 plus hours.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if I would find any fuck ups in going through all of them. Because that's like 150, I don't know, 100 to 150 hours worth of audio.
What do you mean by fuck ups?
Like
missing a word or saying something wrong? Or?
Yeah, or like the wrong take got left in, or like a sloppy edit or something.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And about 5 hours into the second book, you can hear somebody coughing in the middle of a take.
Oh, that's funny.
And it's not him. So I don't know what this setup was, where they had like another open microphone somewhere, or someone was in the like vocal booth with him.
And they might have a line reader who's there like literally going along with him and being like, Jim, you did this wrong or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, you can hear somebody like trying to muffle a cough in the middle of him doing Dobby's voice.
Bro, when you're a 90-year-old actor like that...
He was not 90, but go ahead.
When you're a 90-year-old actor like that who's mad famous and they ask you to read a book, he's like, yeah, I'll do it. But I'm going to do it in my local coffee shop when I fucking feel like it. And if it's loud and shit, or
you can
people
build a
are
studio
coughing,
around me, but I'm not leaving.
I'm not moving my ass anywhere, but you could bring that shit to me. Oh, yeah, that's my wife. It's sometimes she coughs in our living room. So fucking...
We're in his living room now.
Deal with
moved.
it. Wherever he wants. It moves around him. Oh, now I'm on a boat. Bring the studio to me. I'm Jim Dale. What's up?
What might he hear if he were an old man on a boat? Oh, I was trying to get your... We got several requests on the Patreon this week to make a sounder out of the old man boat.
You guys, if you want to understand what old man boat is, if you go to patreon.com/whatifpodcast, you can get a second episode of the show every single week, plus access to a back catalog of over 100 episodes, and it's only $5 a month. So why the fuck wouldn't you do that? Buy yourself a ding dang Christmas present, you pretty mofos.
While we're here and talking about the Patreon and talking about Christmas, Ryan, I haven't run this past you, but
God,
you can accept or decline live on the show.
Oh God, on our production meeting.
We're going to take the next 2 weeks off of this here free show because they would come out on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, and we need time to like exist and be human beings.
Yep.
But we're going to keep putting out Patreon episodes if you still want to listen to us for the next 2 weeks.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Great.
Those are, yep.
I think that's what we did last year, but
exactly,
I realized I hadn't actually run it past you.
Exactly where my head was at.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so if you want to keep listening to us for the next few weeks and you're not currently a supporter of the paid show, just go to patreon.com/whatitpodcast. Again, it's only $5 a month, and you get access to 100 episodes plus an extra one every week, and you'll get to listen to us through the holiday season in case your family is particularly terrible
and you need help.
And you need help. We'll be over there
as we may
on that side of things, and you can pick us up over there.
All right, creepy pants.
That's creepy pants.
It was extremely low effort, but I appreciate it nonetheless.
I'm sorry. I had to burp in the middle of it because I'm drinking a carbonated water right now, and it got me.
2007 in Fresno, California. There's a gentleman named José.
Have you ever been to Fresno?
No.
I haven't either.
There are many parts of California I need to visit, and that is... I don't know if that's one of them. That's one I haven't visited.
It's a big state, bud.
I know.
It's a big...
Never been north of the Bay. I got to work on that.
Oh, is Fresno north of the Bay?
No, I'm just saying places I want to go.
Okay, got it. I was like, wait, I don't think it's north of the Bay.
It's not.
Cool.
Yep. I'm just listing places I haven't been. I knocked off some new states last week, by the way, in case you were...
Because why? Which ones?
I'd never been to New Jersey. Oh boy.
Bro, Jersey is a disaster. Whew. I spent all of like 72 hours in Jersey and could not possibly want to be anywhere else.
I spent somewhere between 2 and 7 hours in New Jersey, and it was entirely too much.
That place is wild.
I had never been to Delaware before.
Sure.
Yeah.
I've also not. I haven't done anything up in like the northeast other than Boston.
That's not a state, but I know what you mean.
I have been to Boston in Massachusetts.
Yes. I think those are the only 2 new ones for me. I hit 5 states in a day, though. That was pretty fun.
Damn. 5 states. Oh, I suppose because you're on a road trip.
If you drive from Boston to Philly, you hit a whole bunch of states there.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Mm-hmm.
That'll happen.
Philly, nice town. I'd never been.
Yeah. There's nice parts of Philly.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
Maybe I was in the nice parts, but it was nice.
I don't know. I've had mixed experiences in Philly.
Fair enough. Anyway, Fresno, California, 2007. There's a guy named Jose And he had been hearing dogs barking in his neighborhood at night.
They were his dogs, right?
I think so.
Like he was being woken up by his own dogs being fritzy outside?
I think so.
See, when you live in California, you can have perpetually outside dogs because there's no risk of them freezing to death.
Exactly. They may encounter some ghosts, though, or aliens, or creepy pants.
Creepy pants.
So he sets up a security camera in his front yard to try and see what his dogs are freaking out about, like if there had been people creeping around his house or an animal on the loose or whatever. And it's 2007, so it's recording to an actual VHS tape. Like in your corner store bodega. Yeah, it's just looping a VHS tape and every however
24 hours.
Yeah.
And if ain't nobody get robbed, then they just record over it again.
Right. So he sets one of those up in his front yard, and on it he captures two things that appear to be that are moving through his yard.
Was it two or one?
It was two.
Was it two?
Yeah.
Carry on.
So I didn't realize looking at the video the first time the scale. So this thing is called the Fresno Nightcrawler most commonly. If you want to take a look at it on the old internets, we'll link to the video as well.
We'll also describe the videos.
Yeah, the video is very low quality because it was originally recorded to a VHS tape, and then the version that's floating around on the internet is actually him filming a screen playing the VHS tape.
Yeah, which I got the impression was because he had some sort of digital camera device and was trying to get it onto the internet. But there wasn't a great method at the time to convert a VHS to something that you would be usable on your computer.
There was, but
not everybody
he didn't have
one
access to it. Yeah. So the version that is most commonly found on YouTube and stuff, it's in black and white, and it's cropped pretty tightly on his front yard. You can see diagonally through the frame his sidewalk up to the front of his house. And then there's a small tree in the upper left corner, and then just grass, and you can sort of see a shadow of he's got a steel fence in the front that bumps up to the sidewalk. So there are two things that move through his yard, sort of I guess perpendicular to
the street,
parallel to the street. So it's coming out of his neighbor's yard, through his yard, to his other neighbor's yard.
Yeah. Across his driveway? Is that right?
It's he doesn't have a driveway in the front. It's a sidewalk up to his front door.
Got it.
So when I originally watched this, I thought that these things were significantly bigger than they are, because it's really hard to tell the scale on this video because it's cropped pretty tightly.
Where do you see the second one?
There's some of the versions of this video have been
truncated,
trimmed, but there's one thing that's about 2.5 feet tall that is just a vertical line. It's like a post that moves through the yard, and it's white, and it looks like it's sort of just on a fairly straight path. Kind of doesn't really float, doesn't really walk, because it's just a single, looks like a thin 2.5 foot tall cylinder sort of that moves through the yard. And then there's a second one that looks like a pair of pants walking through the yard. So there are two it's the two cylinders that are moving in a sort of walking bipedal motion, and they appear to either be made of fabric or have fabric wrapped around something. Yeah, it's if you were wearing a pair of loose pajama pants and then lost your feet and your torso and everything else.
And they're flowy.
Yeah.
They're flowing in the wind.
Yeah.
If you will.
So the whole video is less than a minute long, probably. And these things just move through the frame and out of the frame. And that's the video. So Jose doesn't know what they are. He's been interviewed. There's a show. It's called Fact or Faked. Do you ever watch that show? It's very silly for the most part.
I remember it. I didn't like watch it, but
basically
I'm familiar.
The premise was they would find several like paranormal or unexplained videos, pick 2 of them, and then try and go actually like figure out what happened.
Oh, that's dope. Maybe I didn't watch that then. Maybe I'm thinking of something else because that sounds cooler than what I remember that show to be.
The premise is cool. The execution is not great. But they did one of the first episodes of that show was about the Fresno Nightcrawler, and they actually went to José's house and talked to him and tried to recreate this in his front yard.
Oh.
And had a hard time doing it, but also their methods are highly suspect.
Well,
right.
All of this is highly suspect.
Well, yes.
But
the leading explanation is that this is a hoax of some sort. However...
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, one of the first things that I thought about, and we were just talking about it, is like, if this guy's got a 24-hour... This isn't like a Nest Cam that alerts you when there's something in the frame of your camera.
Right.
It's a VHS tape.
Yep.
So is this guy pulling his 24-hour VHS tape out and watching it every single night to get this? I mean, it's literally like 20 seconds of footage.
If you heard, let's say he heard his dogs barking.
That's true. Hypothetically, if your dogs were barking and you were
that was at about 12:30.
I'm gonna go pull it up.
Let's pull up the tape at 12:30 because there's a timestamp on the bottom of it.
I guess
you could say, I'm gonna fast forward through that section of time and see if there's anything weird on the screen, and then oh shit, there's a pair of sentient pants on the screen. I'm gonna stop and watch that part.
Put it on the list.
Sentient pants.
Sentient pants.
I guess we don't know if they're sentient. They're moving.
Yeah,
they are mobile pants.
Another thing that I don't understand about this whole thing is like there's a lot of people who, if you do search YouTube for this terminology, there are people on YouTube who are like, in Fresno, California.
Of course, man.
In 2007.
I mean, is that not what we're doing right now?
No, but here's the thing. It's not scary.
Well,
it's pants.
Is it? There's also the tall stick one.
Yeah, but like, I'm not. I guess what I'm trying to say is like,
it's a spooky stick.
Is it? What about it is spooky? Like,
it's moving on its own, and you don't know what it is.
Yeah, I guess.
It might be a ghost. It might be an alien. Also, if your pants started walking around on their own, tell me you wouldn't be spooked.
I mean, you're right. It's just like, there's nothing. I guess what I mean is like, there are things that have been caught on camera that are, to me, more natively like, there's something like disconcerting about that.
Well, yeah.
And like when you watch this footage, there's nothing to me that's like disconcerting about it. It's like,
it's kind of silly.
Somebody's clothes got away and they're moving in a strange trajectory.
Which makes it perfect for our show. It's not actually scary, but it's silly and it's still maybe paranormal, but probably a hoax.
And also a shitload of people are very into this, I guess.
Well, there's also a second video, not of José's front yard, that was allegedly taken in Yosemite in 2011.
So...
Have you seen that one?
Yeah, so wait, is that the end of the José story?
I think so.
Was there like any follow-up with him? Did he ever be like, I saw it again, or...
No.
Because from everything I could figure out, it was like nobody ever saw it. The only thing that exists of
like
these
in
things...
person?
Yeah, like it was not like he caught it on camera and a neighbor was like, yeah, there was this weird thing floating through our neighborhood and I saw it too. It was just the video footage.
Yeah. I think the most likely explanation for that case is he rigged up some sort of fishing line or something, and like a pulley system, and pulled something across his yard and filmed it.
There is a guy...
And then intentionally made it super low res so that, details were lost.
There is a guy on YouTube who... I saw him make a spoof of this to try to do
Prove
it.
that you could.
Yeah, and he took like a piece of clothesline and ran it through his backyard and then put a pulley on the clothesline and hung a loop of a fishing line through it, and then connected that to a piece of cloth, and then had another piece of fishing line that he could pull the pulley on. So the pulley and the clothing line was out of the frame, but then hung from the fishing line low enough that it was in the frame. And then when he pulled on the pulley, it moved. And then he had somebody else with 2 other pieces of fishing line attached to the bottom, just like pull it in a sort of like walking. If you see the video, it's not like a walking motion. It's kind of a walking motion, but it's more of like a weird fritzy floaty walk.
It doesn't really look like there's much weight being placed on the legs or the what would be the feet of this thing, I guess.
It's like air swimming.
Yeah. It doesn't look like it's, like planting a foot, pushing off of it, and then repeating. But there is a bipedal like motion happening. It's not just being pulled.
Yeah, it's like a swish swish.
Yeah.
You know, a swish swish. You fucking
We got it.
You fucking get it. Yeah, so he like he did that, and then he basically like shot it on a VHS tape, and then I think he did the exact same thing. He filmed his VHS and was like, now you can't see any of the fishing line.
Right.
Now you can't see anything above it. And it like, it's not exact, but he's like, look, I did this in the afternoon, and this is like remarkably close to what you're seeing. It's not that like, it's not that crazy for that to have been potentially what it was.
What I don't know is like, was Jose trying to sell this footage? Was he trying to like get some sort of attention off of it? Was he like, what? And again, this is not a good argument one way or the other, but like, what would be the motivation for that other than just like, let's have a fun, silly time and see if we can trick some people?
Trolling. Yeah. I mean, it seems like it's probably just trolling more than anything. The thing that, okay, so here's another thing I don't understand. This happened in 2007, right? Mm-hmm. I don't understand how, like I said earlier, this like caught on. Like you could buy fucking Fresno Nightcrawler plushies that are like they look like tooth pillows because it's got like a fucking head with eyes, and then there's like 2 fucking teeth legs coming out of it.
Gross.
But like, it's like a thing in Fresno. There's fucking drawings of it, and like, but like, how don't these have to be made all the time? Aren't people making fake fucking shit?
Why did this one catch on?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at is like, aren't there fake ones of these coming out all the time? And like, why did this one?
I don't know.
Go?
Are there?
I don't know. It seems like there would be.
I still at some point want to see if we can fake something and get places to pick it up.
It's kind of where I'm headed with this. It's like, if this is fucking this easy, like, shit, we should have some fun with it.
So the second one,
we're gonna do an episode about a thing that we do, and that's gonna be
do it like way later. We'll do a long form, like tightly edited, underscored, like fucking what's the Radio Lab style episode about us faking a Bigfoot video.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying a behind the scenes. I meant we do an actual episode like, what if the thing that we invented ... and then that's how we'll spread.
Oh, no. I was saying like
efficacy.
We go film you in a gorilla costume walking through the woods, and then we post on the internet.
Yeah, I know you guys. That was Chewbacca. Okay, relax. Star Wars is coming out this weekend.
Space Squatch. It's the same thing.
That's the same thing.
There's another Star Wars movie coming out.
Fucking A, Crowbar.
God damn.
Number 9.
So many. It's got to be more than 9.
What do you mean?
There got to be way more than 9 Star Wars movies at this point.
No, there are. This is canonical Star Wars versus offshoot Star Wars. Bro, we can't broach the subject, man. People will, bro. People care about Star Wars.
People will, bro.
People care about Star Wars.
That's fine. That's good.
That's good.
I also enjoy Star Wars. I do
too.
Man, it's a lot. It seems like a lot.
Hey,
I'm not even caught up on this Baby Yoda thing yet. Anyway, we film awesome. a Earth Squatch video that's just you, and we see if we can get it on like the forums and the mysterious universes and the singular Forteans of the world.
Sure.
And then we document the whole process in audio form.
Got it.
And then we put out like
our expose on ourselves.
Exactly.
Look, we've talked about this before.
Case study in fuckery.
We've talked about this before, and we're going to talk about it again. We're going to do it. A case study in fuckery. What if you made some fuckery by yourselves? We shall.
So there's a second video that is maybe more convincing, depending on how you look at it.
Yes.
That I think hit the internet in 2011, 10 or 11.
Bro, how many people don't know how to say Yosemite? I watched like 3 videos about this where people called it Yosemite, and I got so confused. I was like, wait. Am I wrong? And then I was like, nope.
Yosemite. I mean, that's fun.
Yosemite is
that's
fun.
That's a cool word.
But
Yosemite is also a cool word.
Yeah. And is also the right way to say it.
Well,
there's a handful of people that were talking about like in Yosemite Park, and I was like, but what?
I don't mind it.
Don't you let them. Don't you let them.
I think people should pronounce
this is a society, Spencer. There are rules here.
No, there are not. People should spell and pronounce things however the fuck they feel like it.
Oh, boy.
We know what they mean.
The English major across from you is dying inside. He's like, whatever.
Whatever. We can have that conversation a different time. This one is like slightly more convincing. So it's shot behind from sort of the edge of a stand of trees. So you're looking through just a couple trees at this clearing.
Sorry,
Yes.
Just to rewind quick. The story of it is that in this area in Yosemite, it was like a popular trail area, and kids were coming through it at night and fucking up the trail. Is that right? And that's why they put up like the equivalent of a deer cam, like a nightlight deer cam or whatever.
The alleged backstory is that they were trying to catch some vandals in the act of vandalizing.
Right.
Instead, they caught 2 pants monsters walking through this clearing in front of their camera.
Dude.
And this one is more clear. It appears to be closer.
Go ahead. I was going to say, I can't tell if it's closer or it's way farther away.
Oh, let me look at it again. Because the scale on both of these was originally very confusing to me. And the only reason that the José one was cleared up was watching that fact or faked show. They actually like recreated the shot in his front yard so you could see the scale of everything.
Got it.
And where the camera would have been and the tree, like the size of the tree that they're walking past and stuff.
Sure.
I'm pulling this one up again. So I guess I'm basing this mostly on the like circumference of the trees in sort of like the foreground. I'm assuming if those are like mature trees, they look to be a diameter of maybe like 2 to 3 feet or something.
Well, but if you look, you have to look really closely, but the one to the left that looks like it's 2 or 3 feet around, is actually 2 trees.
Because I'm looking at the one on the right when I say that. But
okay.
There's like a little cluster of trees to the left and just a singular one to the right.
But to me, this looked like this was like literally down a hill. Like those trees are in the very, very tight foreground. And then it's like down a hill, and the angle that you're seeing it is like way down a hill. Like 30 feet away.
I don't think that, well, yeah. Yes. I think 30 feet is probably a good estimate.
Word.
So there are 2 of these things that look to be taller than the ones in José's yard, or the one in the foreground does, at least. And these have a much more walking type of gait than the one in José's yard, and they're more out in the open. So if we were talking about a sort of pulley system, it would be harder to do in this scenario.
Like significantly harder to do.
Yeah.
They also have a significantly more defined shape. They
look to have more of a body to them.
Yeah, there's like a more defined mass, whereas even like the José video of the Fresno Nightcrawler is just very like flowy and sort of undefined. These are not nearly as flowy. They're moving slower, and their
motion is bizarre though.
Super bizarre.
Like it'll put one what would be foot out in front of itself, but then as it puts weight on it, what would be the knee like bends backwards the opposite direction.
Well, it goes and throughout the video it goes in both directions. It's almost like it's unstable at the knee joint, so it goes forward and backward.
And there's
depending on the step.
There's one point where its feet or legs are parallel to each other, and the whole thing sort of leans forward in a way that like shouldn't really work.
Yeah,
like just by the laws of physics.
Now these ones to me have more of a creepy vibe to them.
Yes,
because they are more.
They look more like a creature of some kind.
Yes, the other one just looks like pants.
Yes, there's sort of like what could maybe be a head at the top of at least the one in the foreground as well.
Yep.
This one to me also though reads more like CGI, and I can't put my finger on what it is. Except at the video that I'm watching, that's titled "Strange Alien Stick-like Creatures Caught on Security Camera Above Fresno and Yosemite National Park." The whole video is a little under a minute. At about the 45 second range, the one in the foreground goes behind a tree, and it looks weird.
The edge?
The edge of it when it passes behind the tree, as if maybe this were a like still shot of that tree line and then something has been edited in.
Yeah.
Or not a still shot, but like it's a composite of two shots. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or if it is a video, you're trying to mask that edge properly as the object goes behind.
I guess that's what I mean, yeah.
Hard to nail.
And then some of the motion just looks bizarre, which is what also makes it creepy, but it looks unnatural maybe because it's unnatural.
Not natural.
You know, if something's actually moving in this way, I don't know how, like, why would something that bad at moving bipedally move primarily bipedally? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, its body does not look designed to do that, and it looks painful the way it's doing it.
I think the other thing about this video that makes me think it's CGI is like, I mean, the way it looks, it's got the greenish tint of like a night vision camera, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yes.
But even with night vision works on like the light that's being cast, right? So like there would be some version of shadow, and there's not really any like light wouldn't there be? Because
I don't know.
I thought with night vision there's still like reflective shadow. I don't know. Maybe it's all
from what though? You know what I mean?
Like the moon or the stars. I mean, if you're in Yosemite National Park, like
just the ambient light, but that wouldn't be directional. I mean, the moon would, but
yeah, I guess. I don't know.
I'm rewatching it to see if there is any sort of shadow happening, and it does not. There is, like, if you look at the one in the background, especially that's more out in the open, there's like a little dark patch underneath it as it moves.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It also doesn't look very natural.
No.
If I had to guess, this one is CGI-ified. But I don't know. Somebody who actually knows shit should look at this and let us know. I don't know anything about how that stuff works.
Yeah. I mean, I for what it's worth, like I came to that conclusion independently of you, so not that we're experts at all, but like
it's certainly an easier explanation though. Also,
yeah. The other one doesn't feel like it could possibly be CGI just because it's so. Well, there's a ton of really like contextual shadow, and the light all works in the one that José took, and it's like,
well, it's so lo-fi
blurry,
too, though. Like.
Yeah.
It's just hard to really tell any of what's going on in that one.
I think one of the things I find most fascinating about this story, I think it's like, I don't know if I believe what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it anyway, because that's how this show works. I think this might be one of the most obviously hoaxed things that we've encountered. And yet it has has a hold.
It's got legs.
It's got legs, if you will. Oh, Jesus. Well, I think we have to end there, folks. That's the best it's going to get. And I think that it had me wondering. I'm going to go off on a tangent for a second. It had me wondering today, is there like an economy of belief that exists around something because you feel a locality attachment to it? Does that make sense? Like, are you more inclined to believe in something because you already want to believe in something, and there's a proximity factor to it where it's like,
you're saying this caught on in Fresno because they're the Fresno Nightcrawlers?
Yeah, and it's like, oh, well, it only happened in downtown Fresno and Yosemite, so it's like a thing, and like,
yeah.
And then you get the people who've like, I was at my buddy Derek's place the other day, and we were looking out his mom's bedroom window, and I think we might have seen a Nightcrawler. And then it just starts this whole...
To take that a step further, yes, I think that definitely does happen, and we've talked about some of these places that, like when we talked about the, was it the Missouri Monster or the Flatwoods Monster?
Yeah.
Where there's like an economy built around tourism for some of this stuff, especially in small towns.
For sure.
Like that, I think, is known and documented. Specifically tying these two together, there's a 3 to 4 year gap between the two videos.
Right.
I think it's very possible that someone was inspired by Jose's video to create the second one.
Sure.
And that the second one for sure is, not for sure, I think the second one is more likely to be a flat out hoax.
Word.
Now, that doesn't mean that I think the first one is or isn't. The first one could also be a hoax. But just going back to, like, yeah, I think this stuff does build on itself. And people want to be a part of it, and people want to be in on it.
And there is something to be said for, I guess the first one is, well, A, it's the first one, but B, it's also an archetype that has never really been discussed before. It's weird, and it looks like you flew fabric through your yard, but at the same time, it's like, it's not a tall gray alien, it's not a little green man, it's not a Bigfoot. Like, It's its own entity in a way that I think maybe allows people to be like, oh, we're special because this
is our shit in Fresno. In Fresno, we got walking pants.
Right, and that's why, too, like, if you look at, the fucking, like, the cryptid maps and shit, right? Like,
yeah.
Is that what
it's like how in Minnesota we want to claim that every artist that's ever set foot in our state is Minnesotan and take credit for their success.
And you're goddamn right.
Guys, did you know that Lizzo lived in Minnesota for a while?
Yes.
Sorry. But yeah, I think there's definitely like that geographic or regional or community based aspect to it of like,
right,
this is ours and it's cool and we're in on this cool thing together.
Yeah. And it's like, it's a tradition that then at some point gets passed down. And obviously this is only like, 10, 12 years old, but still there's, I think, an element of, did you hear about it? Did you see it? Have you seen the video? Oh, I went to high school with Jose's son and we got to watch the original, there's a, yeah.
So to go the opposite direction for a second, I think we both are pretty firmly in the one or likely both of these are hoaxed camp. Yeah.
This shit is not real. Neither of these are real in my personal opinion.
Yeah. I'm mostly with you. It got me thinking though, if they are real or if they're not a hoax in a CGI or, pants on a pulley kind of way, what the fuck would it be?
What if they were real?
Well, you're just saying it's not an existing archetype of like a ghost or an alien or a cryptid of any kind. Like, why this thing? And what the hell would this thing be? Like, why would you A, if you were hoaxing it, why would you choose this? And B, if you're not hoaxing it and this is a real thing, what the hell would it be?
I mean, I think that, in my opinion, the answer to the first question is, if you're hoaxing it, why would it be this? I think it is because it is a unique archetype. You're like, can we invent something that is like not a ghost, not an alien?
Because it would catch on because it's unique?
Because it is like, have you ever seen this phenomenon before? No, this is its own thing. Because if you just do another Sasquatch video, people are going to be like, yeah, dude, it's another dude in a suit, just like the last fucking 30 I saw.
We've explained 100 of these away before. What's one more?
Right, exactly. Yeah. But with this one, it makes people pause and go like, well, that's interesting, or like, that's new, or
different,
that's unique.
At least,
yeah, at least different. The second part, what would it be, is like, I mean, it depends on what you believe. If we're allowing this thing to be real, it depends on what we want it to be. Is it a fucking ghost? Is it an alien? Is it a cryptid of some kind? I mean, the thing about it is like, it's so like, Sasquatch is easy to believe in for some people because we have primates that exist.
There are things like it that are very real.
Right. And that's not the case with this at all. I mean, even anything like fucking Loch Ness Monster.
We're both wearing pants right now.
Well, mine don't hop off me and go run around my yard at night.
Are you sure?
I've got cameras back there, man.
Have you checked them lately?
Yeah, I mean, occasionally. I guess I don't check for every 18-second fucking flash out across them, but...
Can I offer you one possible explanation for what these things would be from a Reddit user named Bubanis?
Oh, God, I wish you would. I truly, deeply, madly wish you would.
Okay.
I want to stand... Okay.
I'm going to read this whole thing.
I didn't even do it in the right order. I think it's truly, madly, deeply, and I think I said, never mind. Carry on.
In watching the videos, it seems to me that the Nightcrawlers move with a definite mechanical precision. Their gait is purposeful and almost geometric in its motion, and to me that says a lot. What if the Nightcrawlers are some alien's version of a probe? What if some alien race is aware of us and wants to know more about our environment, but they can't land here and check for themselves for various reasons, perhaps an incompatible atmosphere or some sort of prime directive edict, which, if you're not familiar with Star Trek, Jesus. The prime directive is that
you pissed him off twice, man.
Whatever.
You pissed him off twice. We're
fine.
never going to hear the end of it at What If Pod if you want to tell Spencer yourself.
Prime directive is you don't fuck with alien civilizations if you don't have to. You leave them alone. You don't interfere.
Yep.
Okay, so what if they, in incompatible atmosphere or some sort of prime directive, what if they use their technology to make something that could possibly pass for a human being if a human being happened to catch a glimpse of it at night and from a distance? Since they don't know what a human actually looks like or feels like, they can only go with generalities. A simplified human of sorts. What if they built these things, delivered them to our planet, and then had them walking around at night to collect things like environmental conditions, radiation levels, atmospheric composition, and maybe even things like RF signals, internet, cellular, satellite, that would be delivered back to their creators? In short, what if the Nightcrawlers were some alien's version of our Mars rover? If we knew that Mars was populated by a species that was less advanced than us but still sentient, wouldn't a reasonable course of action be to create a probe that sort of looked like them and was generally constructed like them so that they could move easily within the same spaces as the native population, release it in areas that were inhabited but not densely so, have it collect data during periods when the native population was most likely going to be asleep or otherwise inattentive, and then deliver that data back to us when the circumstances permitted? Pants probe.
Put it on the list. I mean, one, yes. Two, I think the argument that this person...
yes, huh? Wow, that was better than I was expecting that to go.
Oh, well, no, I mean, I'm not saying yes, that's what it is. I'm saying yes, if we knew that about Mars, yes, that's probably how we would proceed.
Would we?
Yeah, are you just going to send an emissary and like fucking...
I don't know.
I think you'd want to learn.
We've never been faced with that.
No, we haven't. But I think generally, I would think you would want to learn more before you did. And you would try to find a way to covertly learn more.
So that was going to be my part, is that's not very covert. I think we would try and do it from a distance.
Right. That's also my argument for why I don't think that like aliens from other planets have landed on our planet. Because like...
They wouldn't need to?
They wouldn't need to. If you can fly across the galaxy, you don't need to
physically be here.
Yeah. Or you can physically be here in ways that we don't know you're physically here.
Right.
Or
you don't need to come steal us out of our beds at night.
Right.
I met somebody at the show in New York.
Yeah.
Who thinks that he and his sister were both potentially abducted when they were kids.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Did he tell you that because of the show? Was this a listener?
He didn't know about this here show.
You should have him call in and leave a voicemail and tell us the story.
Could probably arrange that.
Do it. 612-246-4614.
I mean, that doesn't help him, but yes, other people can also call and tell us stories.
Give him this episode and tell him to fast forward to this mark of the show.
Hit the 50-minute, 25-second mark.
I do think, though, like, if we were doing that to Mars, like, we would do something relatively similar to that. But the thing about this is, like, they're not even remotely good humans. Like
that's the really funny part of that.
You noticed the legs, but you didn't notice the arms, and you were like, good enough. It's got legs and a kind of a head.
It's upright and moves around.
Those two,
it'll be dark.
Those
they
two things
can't see it at night, right?
Yeah, those two things do back and forth shit. Whatever.
Give him the old swish swish.
Yeah, give him the old swish swish. It's good enough. Like, no.
Walking through his front yard, he'll never see it.
Oh, yeah.
That's the other thing. Not densely populated. It's walking around in Fresno through people's yards.
Like the fucking right. Like the Men in Black shit. Or Men in Black shit, where it's like, oh, are those alien-esque like beings?
Where
like,
it's just slightly off.
Yeah, that makes way more sense to me for this argument than the fucking this shit does. This isn't even a good try.
I think that is a decent explanation for what Men in Black are, if that's a real phenomena.
Totally. If you wanna make that argument to me, I'd be like, all right, I can wrap my head around that, but not for this. This is not. Yeah.
No, it's not a good explanation. It's a fun explanation.
It's a fun explanation, and it's a hot take.
I'm always here for a hot paranormal take.
The one thing that I did think, so there's actually a video rolling around of, it's called like Fresno Nightcrawler Explained or something like that.
Okay.
And it shows the clips back to back, and then it cuts randomly to this girl.
The two that we've been talking about?
Yeah. Okay. And then it cuts randomly to this girl in her bedroom, and she's wearing like... And she's wearing a pair of pajama pants that's way too big for her, and she's got her
pulled up over her shoulders.
Yeah, and it's like tied around her neck, and then she's got her arms and her legs in the legs, and she's like dancing around like a crazy person.
It's what it looks like.
Okay, so
especially the second one, the Yosemite ones.
Yeah, dude. So one of the comments, somebody was like, "Okay, I know this is a joke, but am I crazy for thinking that like this is very possibly what this is?" And I 100% was like, this would for sure be some shit where like, if you are a goofy like acrobatics person in LA, or like you have a costume designer friend or whatever, you'd be like, yo, what if we make a couple of these little suits? We wear our, those stilts that aren't stilts. They're like they're like the razors,
the half ones,
like the risers on your foot.
Yeah.
Put a pair of those on. Put your arms down the sides and it'll look like you have super long legs because the crotch will go all the way up to your crotch, but you'll have an additional like 2 or 3 feet on where those are. If you're walking on a wooden, or where the stilts meet the bottom of your foot, if you're walking on like a rough, like, dirt road, those will have some flex to them. They don't like, machine attached to your hips all the way up. So there'll be some flex on that, which could explain some of the weirdness there. And that's why I felt like if this angle was far enough away, maybe it's closer to like 60 feet straight down a hill, and that's a farther away path. I'm like, I'd buy that.
I agree that would look weird. I don't think that's what we're seeing in either of these videos, however.
It's for sure not the first one. But
the first one, there doesn't appear to be weight being placed on what would be the feet.
No. But and the second one does.
Yes, but the motion is so strange, and the bending where there appear to be joints, like even if you had stilts on, you're not going to bend backwards at the point where it connects to your foot or to your leg. You're not going to be able to lean forward and not tip over and then continue walking. Like the mechanics are just off.
Yeah.
And I think those not being real physical objects is a much better explanation for what we're seeing in that second one.
That's probably true.
The Yosemite one.
But I was trying to get to the question, or to answer the question, if this was a real thing, what could it be?
Yeah.
And that is like, That to me is the best explanation for if we are looking at something real in the Yosemite one. I think that's
Yosemite.
what Yosemite.
Drinking yerba mate and Yosemite.
Yerba mate and Yosemite. Damn. Put that on the list too. That would be my bet if there's flesh and blood behind the Yosemite one.
Yeah. I guess I was thinking in a more fun way of like, why would a ghost be out there wearing pants at night? Or what would aliens look like that? What planet they from?
Ghost pants. I'm gonna haunt your.
Haunt your
pants.
What if your pants die in an especially traumatic way? Is this what's happening?
Oh boy,
in the missing.
You pooped them too hard, bud.
Pooped your pants clean dead.
You pooped your pants to death.
Hell yeah.
Is this what's happening with the missing 411 stuff when they talk about the people not being found, but their clothes being neatly folded somewhere in the forest?
Because they've been converted. Wait, what?
Their pants are out there walking around at night, and then during the day they fold themselves up like Toy Story.
That's why they get lost, because their pants overtake them, and their pants just start walking them into a direction, and they're like, whoa, pants!
They push them off a cliff.
I'm not trying to go there.
Right. Push them into a boulder field real quick or down a cave. See you later. And my pants are free.
And then your pants run away into somebody's yard and try to fuck with their dogs.
Right.
It's fucked up pants. You can't be treating people like that. It's disrespectful.
Maybe it's like how a house elf needs a piece of clothing to become free. These pants need to murder their owners to become free.
Kill your kings.
Yeah.
Own your belt loops again.
Hell yeah, bro!
All right, I think we solved it.
Y'all, it's been another fucking beautiful year of the What If podcast, and holy shit, we can't thank y'all enough. We fucking broke 1 million downloads this year and kept cruising. A bunch of y'all have been supporting the paid show. We appreciate that so much. We had live shows in LA. It's been a great fucking year. And
we fucking did her, bud.
And a big part of that is thanks to all y'all that show up every week and listen to us and have fun. And we appreciate all your voicemails and emails, and it means a lot that y'all hang out with us. So thank y'all for spending a great year with us. And
keep an eye on your pants.
Keep an eye on your pants. Don't let them run out on you.
Not supposed to take your whole pants off.
Yeah, but sometimes
you might gotta.
Sometimes your whole pants take themselves off you, and then you gotta run. Have a good New Year. Have a good holiday, everyone. Take care of yourselves. Love each other. We love you. As always, we'll see you next year.
Wear 2 pairs of pants if you got it. It's cold out there.
Rage.